So I'm sitting here with Bruce Boxleiter, and this has been a very momentous day here on the Babylon 5 Lost Tales set.
It has.
As you've been back in the Star Fury for the first time in quite a few years.
I would say probably 8 years.
Approximately, yeah.
98,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
How was it being back in there again?
Excellent. The old baby, she's a little rusty. There's some pieces missing.
Well, that's a relative
Then he
term.
gave him the old red button. Oh, that was over. Dead men barking.
How's your stare?
Still?
Like a cow?
Oh, they always did, though.
Yeah.
You know, that model was always kind of a cow.
It's kind of soft.
Till we got the Thunderbolt, which
Yeah.
was a lot easier on the turns, better speed. The old X-Wing, I want to tell you, it's nostalgic. It was very nostalgic. And, yeah, but you still have to give her a kick, you know? Walk around to the...
That's the Len or the ship?
Dylan and the ship.
Excellent work, good.
In, depending on what order.
Right.
But, yeah, it's amazing we found this. When I first got on the original show, we had just had the Northridge earthquake. And I kept thinking all the time we're doing the scenes, there were still aftershocks once in a while. And being in one of these things tied up, everybody would run out of the stage and I'd be all alone, rocking around in this thing, you know. Because you can't get out. Once you're in there, you couldn't get out by yourself. You have to have somebody unsuit you, especially in the EVA suits. And the helmet. No, it's a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun. A little cramped, minus the seat belts. That was the weird thing.
Speaking of cramped, do you feel because you're like the president now that there's a constricture on your role that it limits you in some ways in terms of the action stuff, and perhaps down the road a change might be welcome? Instead of leading the question? The
president has a whole different type of responsibility. There may be a kind of a restriction to him that makes it kind of more interesting in a way.
Yeah. Because you're a natural born fighter. You want to
right. He's an old fighter pilot, but he wants to go out there and do it. But you really can't. And there's a sense of responsibility and a sense of the big picture, right? And that's the president has to look at the big picture. So, no, and that has its own dramatic qualities to it to play, as we have in this script, in this story. I think we said before the younger Sheridan would have probably committed and justified it perfectly.
Should I take weapons offline?
Negative. Keep weapons online.
Nuke them all.
John Newcomb Sheridan, that's right.
Yeah. And the reporter scene we shot yesterday does show the arc of the character. I mean, in most television, the character you see in the first day is the character you see on the last day of the run of the show.
Right.
You start off as a starship captain.
To station commander, renegade, and now here you are, returning in triumph as president of the Interstellar Alliance.
In terms of playing all those colors over the years and the changes, and how do you feel about where the character's gone over the years? And
oh, it's wonderful. That? Yeah. Just wonderful. Because I actually feel I've lived a life. And that's how you've the progression of him through these various roles that he played in his life. But I've lived it. It's actually remarkably more comfortable to step in right now after all these years. It feels like we have not left in many ways. Do you feel that? I mean,
I never left the Babylon 5 universe. It's
you
always
never did.
still there in my head. I can hear the voices of the characters on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I can't make them shut up is the hard part. You know, Londo just won't shut up. It's just always there in the back of my head.
I love that part, talking about Londo. That was terrific, like yesterday, having to sort of talk about these various characters. You know who we were talking about.
That's for the fans out there.
Jakar.
So you hear where they are, you hear what's going on, hear where Londo is right now.
But Londo...
And he isn't very happy.
No, he's not. And we've gotten to see that through watching through the whole series. We watched the tragic character that he became. It's fascinating. So, and I felt protective of him in a way. With this young woman asking a question, she says, "Oh yeah, but you don't know that." I wanted to say, "You don't know the story. You don't know him. I'm the only one who has the right here to talk about him, to feel about him, to think anything of him." You know, damn near killed me.
Yeah.
You know?
I know it's part of your technique as an actor is you will often enunciate the subtext as you're preparing for it. I hear you say, "I'm frustrated. I want to be here. I want to talk to you. I want to be somewhere else. I don't have to do any of this stuff." And then the performance doesn't say those words, but that underlies the performance.
Right. Right. Exactly. I do. It's just everybody has their way. And did he really pass behind us? He looks familiar.
Vaguely, yes. It's.
He looked familiar.
I don't know. It's
Londo's stand-in, wasn't it?
Apparently so.
Where
and
they
there
found
he goes
that
again.
is, oh my
That's the original
God.
Londo hairpiece. and unemployed in about 5 minutes.
That was good.
This is Joe and Bruce on Babylon 5.
Bye. That was good.
Okay, that's a cut. Okay, so we're off of that high wise. Okay, we're done with the high wise. We're going to come down, set up the camera to cover 4 Apple.
Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm Colonel Elizabeth Lockley.
We'll load that on his side anyway.
Yeah, that was my request. Okay, other people wanted some fancy
Okay,
stuff.
so then
I wanted a
he
promotion.
goes back.
But I was just gonna, take you on a little quick tour here around the around our set. Over here, we have Aaron and Aiden's station. This is the technical green screen stuff that I don't understand. I get this kind of look on my face like a dog hearing a shrill noise whenever they talk to me. But they're really smart and really nice, and I have no idea what this does.
This is a laptop.
Well, I know what a laptop does. To be back on Babylon 5 it's truly a dream come true for me. I love my character. I love wearing her skin, wearing her costume. She has a real sense of fairness and justness about her, and a real sense of discipline. And so my character on Babylon 5 is something for me to aspire to. So sometimes when I'm embodying her, I feel like she makes me better. Beverly, please. Beverly, this is Beverly. She dresses me because I can't dress myself. So she gets me into my colonel uniform. And Susan, I need hair.
You do not. You just want
Susan makes my
relocation program.
No. She said she's on a witness relocation program. But I had naturally Shirley Temple good chip lollipop hair, and she manages to make it straight. We have a history, of having really strong women on Babylon 5, and all of us seem to be sort of altitudinal. We're all, the 5'8" and above club. And this is Keegan, our new Centauri. Watch your hair. He's got big hair.
So much taller.
Are you
than
from
I think
Texas? No.
Yeah.
This is Keegan. He's a wonderful new addition to our family here from Centauri Prime, where they want to. He's having some troubles back home.
With some assassination attempts here and there.
Yeah. But I have to tell you, I'm a little jealous of his costume. As much as I love my Eagles, I love this.
You can try it on later if you want.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if probably won't fit in the bust.
Well,
I'm lacking there. I'm someday.
thankfully.
Yeah, it's true.
And I have a theory about this. I think that only, and I know this is going to come out politically incorrect, but primarily educated, intelligent men appreciate strong women. And that tends to be a great portion of our fandom. And who could forget Sam? Come on, Sam. Sam keeps this whole thing running, okay? She's the ever-ready bunny, the creative ever-ready bunny that puts all this together and keeps everybody smiling, which is very important, because you know what? Life's too short not to smile.
Absolutely.
This is our camera crew and our cinematographer, Carl, and our first assistant director. And he's in charge of pretty much everything. And as an actress, well, you know what? You can always loop the sound, but you got to be nice to the lighting guy.
Otherwise, he does this.
Yeah. He puts me in the witness protection program. But this is Carl Herman, very acclaimed cinematographer and all-around nice guy.
And my agent. Are you still getting 10% or is it 15 now?
It's 20, babe. It's 20.
Jeez, my wallet starts to hurt.
So I think that they're not put off by the strength and the power of our characters on Babylon 5 because they get it. They're not intimidated because they're strong about themselves. And again, it comes from Joe because he's strong and he appreciates someone who can go toe-to-toe with him. And so I think he sort of writes the women characters that way too. Oh. Steadicam. Hello. This is the god of the Steadicam.
It takes a big team to do it. I just hold the heaviest part.
This guy holds like a 300-pound Steadicam.
That's sweet.
He never complains. I mean, we're going, where's my putter puff? And he's walking around with 200 pounds on his shoulder and keeping it completely in focus and steady and making us look great.
She's too sweet, but I hope she
And,
talks to the producers.
I think they'll see this.
Okay, that's a cut.
Okay, so we're off of that high wise.
Okay, we're done with the high wise. We're going to come down, set up the camera to cover 4 apples.
So I'm sitting here with Peter Woodward, who plays Galen, both in Babylon 5, Crusade, and now Babylon 5, The Lost Tales. And you occupy a unique position in that you were kind of the last person on deck and the first person on the new deck. How's that transition feel to you?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I've always thought I was very lucky because I squeaked in at the end of B5. Now, it was interesting because the character was a sort of bridge between B5 and Crusade, and he's one of those bridge characters that, you know, is always in the background and always hovering there. And yeah, it's always interesting to play that sort of slightly godlike creature.
Which is typecasting for you, really.
It is, yes. That's the sort of role I play all the time.
Because God does have an English accent. I've noticed that in the past in films and stuff.
Not only God, but everyone in the Bible, you'll find, has an English accent, yes.
Are historians aware of this?
Some of them are, some of them aren't. Yeah.
The enlightened ones are.
Yeah, this is true, yes.
So do you, what makes a good techno-mage?
An English accent, yeah.
Good start.
Yeah, this has always been my problem, you see, because you have always kept so quiet about exactly what a technomage is and where technomages
now it's my fault.
Come from. Yes, it is your fault, where they come from, you know, what they're doing, what they want. You know, I've always had so many questions, and you've always sort of just said, yeah, well, you're doing just about right, you know. Or,
well, you asked them on the way to the men's room. It's the wrong time to ask these questions. Coming out of the men's room, perfect time. Into the men's room, not so good.
But I do remember, we were at I think it was a fan convention, was it, in Toronto? And you took me out for dinner and told me that, you know, you were trying to arrange a future life for the whole B5 universe. And at the time I thought, well, that's nice of him to try, but, you know, we'll see. And lo and behold, here we are. And all credit to Warner Brothers for, you know, having the guts to know that there was a future life for this show.
And that the fans are crying out to see you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or just crying, anyway.
There
was crying involved. We know that much for a fact.
But I have to say, yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that the fans of science fiction generally, but particularly for B5 and Crusade, have really been one of the motors behind getting this show on again. Because if there wasn't that interest there, if there wasn't that continuing interest, you know, that this wouldn't have happened.
I agree. And as far as, you know, the role is concerned, what works for me about this is that we're used to science fiction shows being all about the technology, the device, turning on the transducers, or turning the force field on. There's no sense of mystery there. And what the technomages are there to do is to bring back that sense of mystery and wonder. Yeah, I could show you how I'm doing this, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah. It's a great trap, I think, in all science fiction, and in fiction generally. You know, even in the new breed of action movies, you know, if you just concentrate on the explosions and the chases and the technology of it, yeah, you'll get the 18-year-olds, you know, the geeks who like all the gadgets, but you won't actually have a human story. And whether Galen is a human or not, because I don't know, because he won't tell me, whether Galen is a human or not, and nevertheless there are human emotions involved, and you know, it's particularly in this episode that I am in, Galen comes across as a really pretty nasty character who has some very nasty suggestions to make to Sheridan, who is given a moral choice about what he should do.
And it's not an easy choice either. It has some actual merit to it.
Yeah.
And most of your scenes are with Sheridan. How is it to work with him in those scenes?
Yeah, Bruce is great fun to work with, and I have to say, you know, we're able to joke together and josh together a lot, but I think we're a good match.
I mean, what the hell is wrong with you people? Don't you have any other hobbies? Well, that's hardly what I'd call a warm welcome.
You wind him up a lot.
I wind him up a great deal, yes, both as an actor and as a character. And yeah, we get on very well. But I think what's interesting is that his character has developed great deal. That's all right. You can tell that we're right on set and they're actually setting up for the next scene that we're about to do right now, in which, incidentally, I'm playing the whole scene on a swivel chair. You know, I just got on the set.
Well, it was going to be a bar...
swiveling round, he says.
It was going to be a Barca lounger, but we didn't have the budget for that.
Anyway, I was saying about Bruce. I mean, what's interesting about both him as an actor and his character of Sheridan is that there's a really strong emotional undercurrent. As the character of Sheridan, you know, he's now the president, he has to pull that back, he has to be in control, but it's still there. And with Galen, it's almost the opposite. It's like an absolute ice-cold steel undercurrent, which occasionally just erupts into a joke or a bit of what looks like true nastiness, you know, on Galen's part, a suggestion, for instance, in this story, to kill an apparent innocent for what may be his own reasons, his own political reasons, perhaps, we don't know. And so the counterbalance is between the two characters, and I think between us two actors is quite good too.
We are looking at new interpretations of the character for down the road, possibly with the voice of Galen attached to it. We have one over here. I want to get your impression about this, your thought about this. We were thinking of broadening out the interpretation of Galen in some way, manner, shape, or form. So for the next movie, what we're thinking of doing is, this is upside down, isn't it? Is basically going for more of an interactive sock puppet kind of approach. It looks kind of like this. There's the cowl.
Yes,
you know,
I see.
which is like your cowl.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we have the eyes, which are very mysterious, kind of like your eyes.
It looks exactly like me, really.
I was stunned at the way that this actually resembles you. It's actually attacking my hand right now, which is also par for the course.
Yes.
Biting the hand that feeds it.
And you are so skilled in using it. Honestly, I don't know. The glove puppet Galen. I was actually at a convention
Three of
once.
us together again.
I was at a convention once, and I was presented with several people wearing Galen costumes, but I think this is probably the best, yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's the eyes are the best part.
The eyes.
They're mysterious.
Oh, God.
Next movie, this is going to be it.
It's tragic, isn't it? That's tragic.
From Babylon 5 Lost Tales, the three of us saying, hi.
Okay, so off of that high wise.
Okay, we're done with the high wise. We're going to come down, set up the camera to cover 4 after.